start the stream on that. Hopefully it's going through on YouTube. YouTube says it's live, but
Let me check it.
you
I
know,
know how that goes.
yeah. Hey, peanut butter cups.
Sugar alert, it popped up pretty quick on my phone. Yep. We live. We live, brother. We live.
Sweet, alright.
I'll keep it on there that way in case somebody jumps in. I can see it.
Can you silence it though?
Yeah.
Thank you. Good God, man, we are live on YouTube. Football. Done. Starting live broadcast. There we go. So now we're live everywhere. Yay!
Alright, right on.
Let's get the audio portion of our stuff going, and we will be ready to rock and roll, everybody. Okay, and... Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for Sports Talk with Cooper and Big Man. This is Big Man. Joining me, as always, is my brother Cooper. Cooper, how you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. Glad to be back alive.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing, everybody?
Hello out there, YouTube and Facebook. We hope
Yes.
you're joining us and enjoying it. We have football talk for you.
And if you're listening
That's the
in,
neighbors.
we love you. Thank you. And try and check us out on our YouTube channel. Try and check us out on Facebook, whatever, man.
That's right. So, you ready to dive into some football?
Let's do it.
All right. So, week 2 of the college football saw 7 major upsets, and nearly an 8th when Alabama held off Texas 20-19. In week 3, though, was a return to a relative norm as there was only 3 upsets as number 25 Oregon ended their 4-game losing streak against fellow top 25 teams with a 41-20 beatdown of number 12 BYU. After being upset by Appalachian State the week prior, number 24 Texas A&M was ready for number 13 Miami and came away with a 17-9 victory in that game. And unranked Washington hosted number 11 Michigan State and rolled them 39-28 in a game that wasn't really even that close. As for the rest of the top 25, number 1 Georgia finally gave up a touchdown when they walked into Columbia, South Carolina, walked out with a 48-7 beatdown of SC. But finally gave up a touchdown on defense. After avoiding an upset in Texas and sliding down a spot in the polls, Alabama bounced back and took their frustrations out on UL Monroe, 63-7. Number 3 Ohio State rolled Kent State 77-21. Number 4 Michigan walloped UConn 59-0. Number 5 Clemson took care of business against La Tech, or Louisiana Tech actually, 48-20. Number 6 Oklahoma trailed 7-0 to Nebraska and then scored 49 straight points and would win the game 49-14. Number 7 USC continues to roll as they crushed Fresno State 45-17. Number 8 Oklahoma State crushed Arkansas Pine Bluff 63-7. Number 9 Kentucky blanked Youngstown State 31-0. Number 10 Arkansas avoided upset against unranked, of course, Missouri State 38-27. Number 14 Utah continues to trend upward after losing to Florida in week 1, winning 35-7 against San Diego State. Number 15 Tennessee destroyed Akron 63-6. Number 16, North Carolina State beat Texas Tech 27-14. Number 17, Baylor came out looking to take their anger from losing last week to BYU out on somebody, and that happened to be Texas State as they rolled 42-7. Number 19, Wake Forest was in a tough battle with Liberty as they barely won 37-36. Number 20, Ole Miss blanks Georgia Tech 42-0. Number 21, Texas bounced back from a tough, close loss to Alabama to beat University of Texas San Antonio 41-20. Number 22, Penn State went into Auburn and came out with a huge win, 41-12. Number 23, Pittsburgh, after losing at home to Tennessee last week, went to Western Michigan and left with a solid win, 34-13. Cooper, any of those games stand out to you?
Man, I'm sorry. I gotta be honest. I had to let the dog out. Dog was
Yeah.
acting nuts. So I'm glad our listeners got to listen to it. But Cooper's over here like, what's going on, man?
Right.
What's going on? So did any game stick out to you?
The game, we're going to talk about Oregon and Florida, so I'm not going to really go over those right now.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time saying any of them really stuck out to me, other than Georgia's defense finally giving up a touchdown for the first time all year. But basically, it came in garbage time, so probably the third stringers were in for Georgia at the time when they played South Carolina and gave up that touchdown. So, like, did they really give up the touchdown? I mean, honestly.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just crazy. Kentucky's rolling. I'm surprised to see
I know.
Kentucky.
What's up with Kentucky, dude? It's
The basketball school is controlling themselves very
Yeah.
nicely in football. It's crazy. It's unbelievable. Liberty giving Wake Forest a hard time and almost squeaking out a win against Wake Forest. That was kind of a shocker too, honestly, 37-36. But other than that, nothing was really surprising. Everything was pretty much, what it should have been. Nebraska kind of came out, jumped out to a 7-0 lead against Oklahoma, but after that, Oklahoma went, oh, wait a minute, we're Oklahoma. We're better than you, and we know it. And ran off 49 straight points.
Right.
So, that's kind of how that went. I know Nebraska was trying to get over their loss of the firing of their head coach, so they were trying to come out and play for their new coach, but that was not going to happen.
Didn't work out.
Not at all. So, yeah. Anyway, so let's get into some Duck talk, shall we?
Let's do it, brother.
So after blowing out Eastern Washington the previous week, Oregon had a new challenge in the form of number 12 BYU. The Ducks were ready for the challenge as they put on a good defensive performance while finding traction on the ground. The Cougars gave the Ducks a bit of a scare in the third, heading into the fourth quarter, as the Ducks took out Bo Nix with a sizable lead, only to see momentum shift to the Cougars. Well, once it got to 38-20, Bo Nix was returned to the game, settled down the offense, and he would even lead a drive to put Oregon up by the final margin of 41-20.
So, does this give you a little bit more faith in the Ducks quarterback, or are you still kind of iffy?
I'm still kind of iffy a little bit, but I liked what I saw. BYU's defense obviously is not Georgia's defense, as we've thoroughly seen. But they also held down a pretty good offense in BYU the previous week. So, not BYU, that is BYU. Baylor in the previous week. Baylor's usually known for pretty good offense. But also, is Baylor a top-notch SEC offense that we've seen? No. So it's kind of like I have a little bit more confidence in him, but at the same time, we'll see.
Well, I mean, the thing that sucks is the Ducks had to go in and they had to play Georgia like right off the bat.
Yeah, no confidence building.
And I'm sorry, but anybody else, anywhere in the NCAA, if they were to face them right off the bat, they're gonna have a hard time too.
Yeah.
Maybe not as hard as we did, but
then again,
you never know.
They finally just gave up a touchdown 3 weeks into the season. So
yeah,
that was probably their third string defense. So at the same time, yeah, I just thought since we had Dan Lanning, their defensive coordinator from last year, and our defense had a lot of good returning people coming back, including Noah Sewell.
Yeah.
I just thought I wasn't expecting us to beat Georgia. I just expected us to be respectful in that game.
Yeah, and the fact that Nix is
A seasoned
a
veteran,
seasoned veteran, he's faced Georgia a couple times.
and he's lost every time.
But I mean, the fact that he's been there and faced them,
Yeah.
I mean, he should know how they are. So
You'd think, but yet here we are, a loss right off the bat. The good news is
we're bouncing back.
we're bouncing back very nicely. Obviously, playing Eastern Washington helped. Sorry, I love you, Cooper Cup, but your school is not on our level,
Yeah.
unfortunately for you and your school. But to have that win and then come back against the Cougars and look pretty dominant really has me feeling good. The real question is, though, is now we're going up against Washington State in Washington at Pullman at the Palouse, where we struggle.
Aren't they the Cougars?
Yeah, they're also the Cougars, yes.
They're also the Cougars.
Yeah, so we're back-to-back Cougars. And not one of them a good-looking 40-year-old woman. Or 50-year-old woman for us, because we are in our 30s now.
Right.
So, I can't even think of Cougars as properly anymore, because it's like, yeah, 40-year-old woman. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm 5 years behind 40. That's not really a Cougar to me anymore. Anyways, but we'll move on from that.
Yeah.
Moving right along. Anyways, but even when we are a top-of-the-line Pac-12 dominant team, we still have troubles with Washington State, especially in Pullman at the Palouse. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens next Saturday.
Definitely is.
All right, so let's talk about the team I'm representing today. And their what the hell happened game, even though they won. Anyways, the Gators have not looked like the same team that beat the number 7 Utah Utes at the beginning of the year. They looked incompetent offensively last week against Kentucky following their upset win. Then this past weekend, they looked inept defensively as they struggled to slow down University of South Florida. Yeah. The Gators relied on turnovers to keep pace to upend South Florida, who still had a chance to tie the game late, but a bad hold by the placeholder for the kicker for USF cost him from making the field goal, even though he still almost punched it in with the bad snap.
Yeah, it saved him, man. And I think that
Crazy.
It's crazy to see all these people that are all hyped about Florida and like they won the game. Like, yeah,
We won, but
they won, but you know
you look like garbage against South Florida after looking like garbage against Kentucky.
Yeah.
Let's not forget, this was the same
And let's
program.
let's say this too. South Florida, Kentucky, two different teams.
Two different levels of competition.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, this win was. I'm glad they won,
Mhm.
but it should have been a blowout.
It very much should have been a blowout, and I'm looking even more correct about Anthony Richardson needing to stay one more year because he hasn't looked good since Utah in two games.
Yeah.
The defense, I don't know. The defense did the best they could against Kentucky. Their offense kept shooting themselves in the foot, which really killed them that game. So, hence the final margin is what it was against Kentucky. But then to turn around and it seemed like you've never seen an option quarterback in your lives when you have played option quarterbacks and you didn't know how to stop it. What the hell?
Yeah.
It was just crazy and asinine, and I'm just like, Napier, do something about your defense. It's killing me. I think they have an easy game this next week, so maybe it should be okay. But yeah, Anthony, stay one more year. Just stay one more year, please. You're killing me, Smalls. Killing
Because
me.
at this point, you'll be lucky to be somebody's back.
Yeah. Moving on. Arizona State and head coach Herm Edwards have parted ways amid an NCAA investigation and a 1-2 start to the season. They had an embarrassing home loss to Eastern Michigan, losing 30-21 or 30-21. There have been both staff and roster exoduses from off-field issues. It will be interesting to see if ASU looks at recently fired Scott Frost for its head coaching position, or if it looks elsewhere. This was a bit of a shocker. I knew there was been some skerfuffles in the program, but I didn't know it was that bad. And then to have a 1-2 start to your season and losing to Eastern Michigan by 9 doesn't help.
Yeah. And not good.
Yeah, no. And it was bad because apparently he was fired on the field because the president and athletic director of the university met him in the end zone and talked to him before they left the field.
Yeah.
And from the video, it kind of looks like they're basically agreeing that you're done as head coach. Not a good look. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's something wrong with that, and the fact that you go on field and do that.
Right. It's not looking pretty.
Not professional.
No. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens with Arizona State moving forward. From the rumors is Scott Frost already kind of has a head coaching job lined up for next year. So we'll see if I don't even know if Arizona State's going to have the interest. I just know Frost has had time in the Pac-12. He was our offensive coordinator for a while, which our offense kind of went downhill after he left as to be the head coach at Central Florida before moving on. So he does have ties to the Pac-12, so he's got that going for him. So that's something to look at. But we'll see what happens moving forward with Arizona State. So Arizona State, once again, trying to rebuild. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. So, you ready for the NFL?
Let's do it.
All right. The NFL Week 1 opener was full of surprises. We're only going to cover the surprises. We're not covering every freaking game from Week 1. We got to cover Week 2. So, here we go. The Bears would beat the 49ers 19-10 in a torrential downpour in Chicago. The Lions and Eagles had a shootout with the Eagles squeaking by 38-35. The Browns got the better of the Panthers in a controversial fashion, 26-24. The Colts and Texans played to a tie of 20-20. The Giants won in Brian Dable's debut as head coach, 21-20 over the Titans, in Nashville, by the way. The Vikings overpowered the Packers, 23-7. And the Seahawks shocked everybody in Russell Wilson's return to Seattle, winning 17-16 over the Broncos.
Yeah, the big shocker with that game there was
the turnovers at the goal line.
That and the very end of the game when you
decided on a 64-yard field goal.
Yeah, what is that, dude?
I get everybody's bombing the rookie coach for making that decision, but at the same time, if you don't fumble twice at the goal line, you're not in that position anyways.
Yeah.
So, vis-a-vis, you can bash him all you want for that mistake call, but I just don't like that you're going to bash the head coach for that call, but you're not going to say, well, he wouldn't have been in that position if you don't turn the ball over at the goal line twice.
But 64 yards, dude, that's a little much.
I mean, he would have made it if it was in between the goalposts because it had the distance. He just didn't put it between the uprights.
There you go.
So it technically wasn't that bad of a decision. It was just confusing on letting all that time run out, not taking the time out to think about it, maybe trying to get the first down, even though it was fourth down. I think if it was third down and they were kind of hesitant on whether or not they should kick it now or wait, I can kind of also see your point there too, because it's third down, why not try to get the first down? If you don't get it, then you're kind of SOL, you got to go for the field goal then. Instead of, if it was third down, you let the clock run all the way down, call timeout, then kick the field goal. That would have been...
I'm just saying, put it in Russell's hands, let Russell
but
try and do something with it.
But I'm also going to be on the side of don't fumble the ball on the goal line twice and lose the ball.
Well, either way.
That costs you. That you're in that position because of that. So, as for week 2, Patrick Mahomes outdueled Justin Herbert in Kansas City to secure a win over their division rival, 24-27. Herbert has been practicing this week, so his injury wasn't too bad, thank God, because that was awful, especially on that third down when he basically had the first down if he wanted to ran it, and he said no and barely was able to even toss the ball away. That was crazy. Anyways, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers finally beat the Saints in the regular season matchup since coming to the Bucs. That's why I mean by that. 20-10. The Patriots managed to keep Trubisky in check as they won in Pittsburgh 17-14. Shocker of the week may actually go to the Jaguars as they shut out the Colts 24-0 at home.
Dude, they look competent, man. That was crazy.
And their defense picked off Matt Ryan 3 times.
Yeah.
Crazy what was going on there, man. Crazy. Another week and another shootout, this time in the form of Tua versus Lamar, as the Dolphins epically came back to take down the Ravens 42-38.
Dude, Tua, man. Tua. I've always said he was good.
Well, I've always said you needed to prove it, and they made sure this offseason to give him every opportunity to prove it.
And now he's
proving it. Yep. I still think the Rams were just out to kill me this week after pretty much blowing a 28-3 lead to squeeze out a 31-27 win over the Falcons. About died. Killing me.
Still won.
Barely.
Still won.
It's basically the Florida Gators over South Florida. Barely. Anyways, another game that gives the Jags a run for their money, though, for shocker of the week, the the New York Jets came from behind to upend the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland, 31-30. The Detroit Lions got their first win of the year with a solid victory over the Commanders, 36-27. The Giants, the Giants are actually on a winning streak as they beat the Carolina Panthers, 19-16. Despite losing Trey Young to a season-ending injury, the 49ers look like geniuses keeping Garoppolo as he would lead the team to a 27-7 win over the Seahawks.
Yeah, I remember the post-conference thing when they were talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
How's it feel to get that $3,000 or $300,000?
$350,000 bonus for playing in the game. Yeah,
that was cool.
And winning, because it was a play and a win. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he was really happy. And then I have this game in protest until I see a camera angle that actually shows the game-winning field goal actually being good. But the Cowboys beat the Bengals 20-17.
He's just mad because he hates the Cowboys, no matter what.
I know you don't care because you don't want the Bengals to win because they're your division rival, but at the same freaking time, that was a missed field goal.
Yeah, nah.
It was missed. Freaking referee didn't want to go into overtime.
The thing is, are you the only one saying so?
Yes, actually. But
then, come on, bro.
But that angle shows that it was a missed field goal, and I protest. Anyways, the Broncos still seem to be struggling offensively. Luckily for them, they happen to be playing the Texans, who tied the Colts last week, as they won 16-9, or in the prior week. The Cardinals stormed back from a 20-0 deficit against the Raiders and barely won in overtime, 29-23, when Budda Baker almost tossed the ball away before crossing the goal line for a scoop and score touchdown.
Yeah, that was
that close. They were looking at that a long time, and I said, bro, I think he might have thrown the ball away a little too soon. We got to see that. He barely is over the goal line with the ball in hand as he's in the motion of tossing it, but luckily it was still in his hand as it crossed the goal line before letting go. That close, though. I was just like, dude, I'd make him run laps. I don't even care that he managed to score. It was too close for my comfort. Whether you're a Cardinals fan, coach, or whatever, man, or just a fan of football, that was just too close for comfort. Oof. The Packers would return home and host the Bears and look more like themselves as they would handle them 27-10. Game 1 of the Monday night doubleheader, the Buffalo Bills continued the early season dominance as they laid the whooping on the Titans, 41-7. The Eagles look like the best team in the NFC East as Kirk Cousins still melts under the bright lights of prime time, with the Eagles winning Game 2, 24-7. Cooper, any Week 2 games stand out to you?
Oh, that Eagles game, man.
Right?
Crazy.
Yeah?
Crazy, right?
They're looking good.
That's crazy, man.
They might be the team to beat in the NFC East.
Yeah, man. I can't believe that the Dolphins are they, what are they, 2-0 now?
2-0. 2-0.
2-0.
Print those shirts to it. Print those shirts. 2-0. We're 2-0. 2-0. Yeah, that was.
Then the Lions won?
It was the Commanders, though. And the Jags almost beat the Commanders the week prior.
Yeah.
Come on.
True.
And they did put up 35 on the Eagles' defense that held the Vikings' offense to 7. So, not that surprised. Come on now.
Well,
little respect for the Lions. Put a little respect on Jared Goff.
If they're winning, that's a good thing.
Give
the Lions are the Lions still. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm not calling that they're going to be in the freaking playoff Super Bowl contenders, but at the same time, after what we saw the Jaguars almost able to do to the Commanders, and the fact that it was in Detroit.
Are we seeing all the NFL teams for Florida won this week?
Yes. The Dolphins, Buccaneers, and Jaguars all won this week.
That is crazy, dude. We'll never see that happen again.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens next week, because you never know next week. It could happen.
I mean, Miami's in contention now. I'm sorry, but
Oh, I'm not even going there, because you know what? I actually forgot. Miami has to play Buffalo.
Oh, this week, next week, yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a tough game for
Yeah,
him.
they ain't winning that one. I don't care.
Josh Allen's, yeah, he's.
Not only that, you kidding me? Von Miller's going to eat Tua.
Then there's that, yeah.
We thought he was bad against our offensive line that was crappy. He ate Stafford. He's going to eat Tua.
Yeah, Tua's gonna have to.
You're going to have to throw quick screens to Tyreek Hill and Waddle like all game, because you're going to have to get the ball out of that kid's hands. Because if Von Miller gets him, he's going to get him.
He's gonna get him good.
And then Tua's going to get happy feet if he's not injured. He's going to get got. Most of you are going to get me, then I got to get you. Sorry, had a Medea moment. Anyways, any other games besides those ones?
No, man, it's crazy to see these teams that are usually losing actually getting the W.
Right, it is. It's kind of nice. All right,
And
so
these things different.
yeah, variety for you.
Yeah.
Anything else before I go on?
No, go on.
Okay. The NFL has suspended Buccaneers wide receiver Mike Evans for his involvement in the standoff between Marshawn Lattimore and Tom Brady. Evans was sticking up for Brady, but ran onto the field and leveled Lattimore. This action escalated the situation into an all-out brawl between the two teams. Evans, though, is the only player that is being suspended from the results of the from the altercation. Evans could appeal, did appeal, lost his appeal, so he's still suspended for the game. Next game.
It is what it is, man. Sometimes things
Crazy.
get heated. You're sticking up for your quarterback.
Yes, got to stick up for the quarterback.
Quarterback.
Well, look what happens when you stick up too much. Especially for that loser.
I knew you were gonna say something, dude.
I
I knew it was just so you could put a shot on Tom Brady. It's not because you even care. It's just so you can talk shit about Tom Brady.
Why don't you stick up for that loser? Oh, because he's your quarterback. So you stick up for him if he wasn't your quarterback. Wouldn't stick up for him if he was even my quarterback. Not that I'd be on the Rams team anyways, but
You
still.
seem so angry.
No, I'm very calm, cool, and collected. Anyways, moving on, shall we?
Yes,
The
we shall.
NFL has also suspended Chiefs linebacker Willie Gay stemming from an arrest in January for criminal property damage. The suspension is 4 games long, which goes into effect immediately, thus missing games against the Colts, Buccaneers, Raiders, and Bills. Gay had agreed to enter into a diversion program to resolve a criminal case over the summer. For the next 2 weeks, Gay cannot be at team facilities and cannot have any contact with team officials. This could be a big blow for the Chiefs defensively, especially over the last 3 games against very strong opponents, one of which is a division rival in the Raiders, and of course, as we all know, the dominant team in the NFL, the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, it definitely could cause some problems there. But I think when you do something, you gotta own up to it and do your time, man. That's it.
Yeah, and it's one of those conduct detrimentals to the league, so that's how the league's gonna be able to suspend him, because he did something that got him in trouble,
Yeah.
and they're always gonna protect the shield. So, and then of course I found out today that our backup tight end Bryson Hopkins is going to be suspended for 3 games for violation of the PED rules, and I just went, you kidding me? We only carry 2 tight ends this year, and he's suspended for 3 games.
And it makes you wonder, like, is that going to go throughout the league? Or are they going to go around and check everyone now?
Well, actually, also I believe someone else got hit up too. I think someone on the Saints got hit for PEDs 3 games.
Crazy, dude.
I'm just sitting there like, really, bro? We only have 2 tight ends, and you're gonna get popped. Really?
Yeah.
Killing me, Smalls. I think Jacob Harris, though, got promoted, and he was actually wide receiver last week, and now he's probably going to go back to tight end this week because we have no backup tight end.
Well,
My team just makes my head hurt. I don't even remember who we're playing this week either.
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know why I can't remember these things. It's Arizona. That's right.
I'll tell you why I don't remember. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I don't pay attention, and then I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
because I'm a dork. So, hi guys.
I do want to do one little Steelers thing.
What's up?
Where do you sit on the Kenny chance in Pittsburgh when Trubisky was on the field losing the game against the Patriots?
Come on, man. You know, I mean, you could have put him in there, but then you could be putting him in there and putting him through something he don't even need to go through. So, you know, I mean, let's see what Trubisky does. Then again, it's the Patriots, and the Patriots aren't that great anymore. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but then you got to deal with Bill Belichick, who's considered one of the greatest defensive coaches to ever coach the game.
Yeah.
Despite not having some of his top talent that he normally has on defense, doesn't mean he can't come up with something to make the rookie look like garbage.
Right.
And then, what would you have been doing then? Trubisky, we want Trubby, we want Trubby.
Yeah.
Instead of we want Kenny, we want Trubby.
I mean, you can't do that after one loss either. I think it's not fair to
You guys are 500 and everybody in your division lost, so
Yeah, so,
you're tied for first still. The only team that has 2 losses is the Bengals because you guys beat them in week 1. And everybody now is 1-1. So it's not like you're out of the race for the division title yet.
yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Here. And you know, that's just fans being fans.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're losing, you're like, oh, we got a quarterback. Well, he's a quarterback, but I don't even know if he's quite NFL ready.
Well, he was the most NFL ready quarterback in the draft.
I know that, but you know what I'm saying, dude.
Well, yeah, I do. It's going to be what it is. I mean, I kind of understand, but at the same time, just let it go.
It's like you and I said, dude. If they're gonna bring him halfway through the season, let him learn the playbook, let him get used to the team. I mean, and then bring him along.
Absolutely.
But to do that right after your first loss,
Mm-hmm.
not good.
Yeah, don't get over upset just because you lost to the Patriots.
Yeah.
You could have lost to the Bengals the previous week. You actually should have lost to the Bengals. You kind of got lucky on that one. Their long snapper got injured, which made a bad hold on the PAT that you guys blocked. Can we just give appreciation to Minkah Fitzpatrick, though? My
All
God.
right.
My God. That was just a great trade.
That was awesome, dude.
You stole him from the freaking Dolphins. I feel like the Dolphins are idiots for giving up on him. But hey, he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. He's like a Pittsburgh safety anyways. It's just like he belongs in the Steel City with Pittsburgh because he just plays really great defense.
Yeah.
A long line of great ones like Mel Blount. You got Troy Polamalu, of course. Rod Woodson, when you guys had him in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys got lineage of safeties, and he just adds to it. So
He definitely does, man. And it's nice to actually have someone in the safety position that you can look at and be like, yes, somebody to root for, you know what I mean? Because after Polamalu left, it was kind of like, who do we root for? What do we do?
right.
And we got him, and now, of course, we have T.J. Watt, but T.J. Watt's, he's out right now, so.
Well, luckily his was not needing a requirement of
Thank
surgery,
God for that. No
so it's
surgery.
just heal up in a few weeks, well, 6 weeks basically, but I think you guys have a bye week in one of those weeks, so it's actually going to end up being 6 total games instead of 7 total games because you had to count this last week he was out, obviously,
Yeah.
and then he was supposed to be out technically 6 more weeks, but I think you have your bye week in there. So he's only missing a total of 6 games instead of 7, which is nice.
But yeah, as far as Kenny Pickett goes, I mean, when I see he's not NFL ready, I'm saying he's got to learn that playbook, and he's got to get. I mean, the kid has poise. Don't get me wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't want to throw him in there, especially against Bill Belichick right off the bat.
Yeah.
So I mean, for those that are clamoring for him to jump aboard right away, let's still remember that we won last week.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And who's to say you won't win this week?
Yeah.
Just saying. Give him a chance. Give Trubisky a chance. You can do a lot worse than Trubisky.
Mm-hmm.
A lot worse.
Oh yeah.
You could have a quarterback that you're not entirely sure about, and he gets hurt. 49ers. But of course, like again, I said, they look like geniuses now for keeping Garoppolo because now you basically went, oh, we're back to where we
I
started.
totally wish they would have got rid of him.
I do too because now it's like great. Now they're contenders now. Fucking great. Sorry,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying it's like, of course. It was like you could have just got rid of him. I thought it was funny. I did hear a rumor though, and I'll tell it to everybody here too, so they can hear it, that if he was released, he would have signed with the Rams to be our backup quarterback, just so if something happened to Matthew Stafford, he could stick it to the Niners. Which was weird because everybody thought he would go to Seattle where he could possibly start. But for some reason they said, and Colin Cowherd heard the rumor too, that's where I got the notice on it. He said that he heard that if Garoppolo was released, he would have came to the Rams to be back up to Matthew Stafford.
Oh, that would have been cool.
That would have been fucking great. Especially after, dumbass threw 3 picks in the first game, I would have probably going to put Jimmy in.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and put Jimmy in. Maybe he can do something against Buffalo. I don't see anybody doing anything against Buffalo except maybe Kansas City. Of course, now without Willie Gay, it's going to be more difficult, but
Yeah.
good luck, Miami. Good luck, Dolphins. Anyways. By the way, Joe Hayden retired. We're going to miss you, Joe. Signed a 1-day contract to retire as a Brown. I was a little shocked since they kind of dumped your butt, but, whatever.
Yeah, man. Joe Hayden was on both ends of the Browns and the Steelers. So, I mean, the fact that he was able to retire, and I guess retire with his team, is okay.
I wouldn't have gone back to the team that dumped me like that. Thought I wasn't no good anymore. Went to Pittsburgh and had a pretty good, solid few years left.
Yeah.
And kind of smoked Cleveland a few times himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyways, happy retirement to Joe Hayden.
Yes, happy retirement.
All right, brother. I think that does it for us.
It does. And we had somebody come on and give us a little like. Thank you.
I saw the
We
like.
appreciate that.
Thank you. So we'll be back again on Friday because Cooper actually gets to get his kids tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So we can actually do tomorrow our next episode on Friday because it'll be easier that way on them especially. So we'll be back with actual sports talk because we'll be talking. We got a lot to talk about in basketball. We got some baseball and stuff to talk about. So.
Oh yeah, we're gearing up for the playoffs, brother.
Yes. Dodgers have a bye week in the playoffs. Oh yeah,
That's what's up.
yeah. Only team with 100 wins so far. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And we actually have to talk about a Yankee.
Yeah.
But he's doing something a lot of people are thinking is going to be a little more legitimate because he hasn't been ever thought of having done steroids. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And of course, I also got to give love to Pujols. He was a Dodger for a little bit. So I gotta show him love. Pujols.
All right, we'll show him love on Friday.
All right, we'll do. And we gotta talk about some Laker crap.
Laker drama.
Yeah.
Where's the nuke button?
I've been pushing it for 2.5 years already. Just get rid of LeBron James and Anthony Davis and everybody else. Start over again. Anyways, so we'll talk about that on Friday. Anyway, so that will do it for us here at Sports Talk. And as always, keep on talking sports. I don't know which camera to point at. Meow, see? Meow, meow. Cut that a little bit there. Alright, live, Facebook Live. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Thank you for jumping in, giving us a like. We very much appreciate it. And come back in anytime.
That's right. See you when we see you. We're signing off. Alright, YouTube.
YouTube.
We didn't forget about you.
No, YouTube forgot about us.
True. How dare they?
I'm gonna cry.
Don't make Cooper cry. It's so wrong on so many levels. Anyways, sorry.
Well, I thought you were being nice. Make the handicapped dude cry. No, don't make him cry. It's so sad.
Sad,
It's
Creepy.
sad, it's sad looking.
pathetic. I gotta do this. Right there.
All right, are we done?
Yeah. Bye, YouTube.
Bye.